Billions came before you. They married and argued and made oaths under the stars. They won prizes and lost tempers. They built houses and names and futures, and then their futures turned into dust that fed a tree's roots. The river kept going. It is still going. This isn't an insult to anyone's life. It's the context of everyone's life. Seen clearly, the context softens the grip of your particular drama. It doesn't make you indifferent, it makes you honest. You discover that what you are is wider than the storyline moving through you. We are trained to forget this. We inherit a habit to treat our role as our skin, our performance as our identity, our immediate weather as the climate forever. Then every gust is an emergency. Every silence is a verdict. Every victory has to prove something about us, and every mistake threatens our right to belong. The Headless Way invites a simpler check. It doesn't ask you to adopt a belief. It asks you to look right now at what's present where you are looking from, and to let that fact reorganize how you move. Begin gently. Raise a finger and point at something near you. A cup, a door, the sky out the window. You're pointing at a thing with edges and color and distance. Now turn the finger around and point directly back to where you were looking from. What is given here at zero distance? Do you find a face, a shape, an outline? Or do you find open, edgeless, capacity-clear space that holds the cup, the door, the sky, the sound of these words, your breath, your thoughts? Don't guess, don't decorate it, just check. Out there, forms. Here, the capacity that receives them. This is not a spiritual trance. It's the most ordinary truth of your first-person view, so ordinary it gets overlooked. When it's overlooked, the role recruits you and runs you. When it's remembered, the role can be played with intelligence and care. Nothing needs to be thrown away. Masks can stay on the shelf and be used when needed. The difference is that you stop borrowing a self from the mask. Notice in one day how many faces slide into place without being asked. With your partner you wear gentle. With your child you wear solid. With your boss you wear competent. With your parents, you suddenly find the old adolescent mask in your hands again, as if a cupboard in time never got locked. None of this is wrong. The trouble begins when you can't feel the weight of the mask, and you forget there's a face under it, and under the face. Openness. The body tightens to keep the costume from slipping. By evening, you are tired, and you call it the world. Often it's the costume. Try two-way seeing in the middle of ordinary things. Keep the world in view. The hallway, the dishes, the person in front of you, and at the same time keep the openness here in view. Not alternating between inner and outer like a pendulum, but including both in a single easy attention. The hallway is there. The openness is here. The walking happens in both. Under this view, you do not become distant, you become available. You can feel more because you're not contracting around whatever you feel. You can say yes more honestly and no more cleanly because you are not defending an image while you speak. The mind comments on everything with little labels that feel like facts. Too late. Not enough. Finally seen. They don't care. These captions can be so quick that the scene arrives already tinted. Here is a way to give the captions back their proper size. Bring to attention a sentence your system believes too easily. See the sentence as text floating in awareness, like a subtitle at the bottom of experience. Now notice what knows the text. Which comes first, the flicker of the sentence, or the quiet knowing that registers it? Sit as the knowing for 3 relaxed breaths. Another sentence may appear, This is pointless. That is also a sentence. Keep returning to the knowing. From here, labels become weather. They don't need to vanish. They simply lose their throne. You can still plan and apologize and draw lines, but you're less likely to outsource your nervous system to whatever caption is loudest today. A mirror offers another honest check. Stand before one. See the face over their eyes. Skin. The day's evidence that time moves. That face is local to the mirror. Now, without moving, test what is here, where seeing happens. Is there a face at zero distance? Or the same open, clear capacity, faceless and edgeless, that welcomes the mirror and the room and the morning's worries and the afternoon's relief? The face belongs there. Here is the space. Living from here doesn't make you superior or aloof. It makes you less frightened of changing expressions because your identity isn't strapped to any of them. From this view, the old metaphors make simple, practical sense. Yes, life is like a dream knot in the sense that it doesn't matter, but in the sense that it matters inside a capacity that it cannot injure. In a night dream, an insult burns and a kiss lingers. Then you wake and see that both were movements on an inner screen. Daytime carries the same structure. Intense, consequential events that rise and fall against a screen that remains. Remembering the screen doesn't dull the film. It gives you the courage to feel the film all the way without needing it to freeze on the best frame. You may notice a lightness as this sinks in, not the float of avoidance, but the ease of no longer making everything about keeping a mask intact. You don't have to turn every discomfort into a prophecy. You don't have to turn every compliment into a contract. You can become accurate. Accuracy is kinder than performance. What about love and loss, the places where the plot seems too dense to breathe through? The same experiments apply there, and they do not cancel grief. They let grief move. When love comes, two-way seeing keeps you from clutching the other as a cure for your labels. When love goes, two-way seeing keeps you from making absence your name. In both cases, the openness remains uninsulted and entirely intimate with what is happening. That is why you can cry without collapsing and laugh without pretending everything is fine. The space can afford both. Success and failure are also easier to handle when you stop pinning your name to them. The applause arrives. The body thrills. Fine, let it warm you. The criticism arrives. The body sours. Fine, let it instruct you. Neither one is a verdict about what you are. They are weather systems teaching different lessons in the same wide sky. From here, apologies get cleaner and celebrations less frantic. You are less tempted to build identity out of rubble or out of trophies. You may ask, if I keep checking openness, will I become passive? No, this isn't sedation. It is sobriety. The energy that used to feed the image factory becomes available for craft, repair, service, rest. You still take stands. The difference is that your stand is not secretly a plea for self-definition. It is a response to what's needed. Action stops being a method of borrowing worth and becomes a way of expressing it. There will still be days when you're swept by the plot and forget the stage entirely. The habit of identification is ancient and clever, and sometimes it wins for a while. This is not a failure. It's the rhythm of attention, forgetting and remembering, getting lost and being found. The space you are does not forget you while you forget it. When you notice the forgetfulness, after 2 minutes or 2 months, celebrate the noticing and begin again. Beginning is always now. If you want something small and practical, try this sequence 3 times today in less than a minute. Sit or stand where you are. Feel a single sensory fact, the weight of the body, the coolness at the nostrils, the sound in the room. Point out at any object and quietly name it. Now point back and confirm the openness here. No edges, still including everything. Name the leading label in your mind. Rest as the knower for one slow breath, then take the next ordinary action. This is how you step out of the flood without abandoning the river. You sit on the bank. The current is still there. You can enter it again for real reasons, not because it kidnapped your attention. In conversation, test a 2-second gap. When the other stops speaking, let 2 seconds pass before you reply. Use those seconds to point back, not visibly confirm openness. Feel your feet. Then speak from there. 2 seconds is a long time for a system trained to jump in. The gap doesn't make you distant. It lets a better sentence arrive. Most of us are starved not for more words, but for sentences carried by presence rather than by defense. When performance tightens the body, loosen it deliberately. Soften the eyes by a few degrees, let the jaw unclench, lower the shoulders a centimetre. These are not decorations. They are physical permissions that help the nervous system stop rehearsing a threat that isn't here. From there, you can make a request instead of running a test. Tests are how fear asks for love without risking a plain ask. The plain ask is kinder. Watch how the mind wants to turn this into a new identity. The one who gets it, the one who is above drama, the one who always sees clearly. That is another mask. Recognize it, smile at it, let it sit in the audience with the other masks. Keep the simpler promise, keep checking, keep returning, keep including. What about the parade of banners that march under the word truth, religion, ideology, team? Use the same measure you use for boiling water and falling objects. Does it hold up when tested in present experience? Does it require you to outsource your authority forever, or does it hand authority back by inviting you to check? Things either withstand inspection or they don't. The openness you are is prior to every label you learned, and it is available in every culture, under every flag. This recognition isn't anti-tradition. It is honest tradition, the part of human practice that cannot be monopolized because it is simply what is here when you look. Endings become simpler under this light. They still ache. Let them. Grief is a loyal animal that comes when love has been in the room. Sit with it kindly. Do the experiments inside the ache. Point out, point back. Name the label. Be the knower. The openness is still here. Because it is, you don't have to harden grief into a new self. You don't have to pretend you're fine to be strong. Strength is the ability to feel without drowning, to act without hatred, to rest without guilt. Beginnings become simpler too. You don't need a guarantee before you start. You just need the next honest step. The openness is not waiting for evidence before it allows you to move. It is the allowance in which movement and doubt and courage all appear. From here, you can try things and let them fail without shame. Try again without bravado. The stage is not at risk. If night comes and the old urgency visits, I am late for my life. I've missed it. I must fix everything by morning. Do the mirror check in the dark. There is no reflection now, but the openness hasn't gone anywhere. Find the edges if you can. If you can't, you have answered the question. Sleep from there. Let dreams come and go in the same space that will host the morning. None of this turns you into a statue. You will still blush and say the wrong thing and want what isn't good for you and neglect what is. Fine. Notice it sooner. Repair sooner. Forgive sooner. The speed of repair is one good measure of a sane life. Openness makes repair faster because there is less to defend. Apologies shrink to the size of what happened. Gratitude expands to the size of what is. If you need one sentence to carry from all this, try. Let nothing be borrowed that could be shared. Don't borrow identity from a compliment. Share the joy the compliment names. Don't borrow doom from a setback. Share the lesson the setback hands you. Don't borrow yourself from a mask. Share the role when it is helpful and set it down when it's not. There will be meetings, rare but real, where someone else can stand in this same openness with you. You'll know it. The room will feel aired out. Silence won't be a problem to fix. Jokes will appear without being manufactured. You'll watch each other without reducing or recruiting. Do not call this extraordinary. Call it natural. Practice meets practice, and the world gets 5 degrees kinder in your corner of it. Everything that can pass will pass. Let it. One thing does not: the open capacity in which the passing happens. You do not have to build it, polish it, defend it, or believe in it. You can only notice it now, in the only now you ever have, and live from it as best you can. Card of the day: return to the screen. 3 moments today: waiting in line, reading a message, washing a plate. Point out at one thing, point back at the openness, name the leading label, rest as the knower for one breath, carry on. The film will keep playing. Let it. The screen remains. Because it remains, you are free to love without chains, to work without worshipping work, to rest without apology, to mourn without making mourning your name, and to rejoice without trying to make the moment last by force. The house lights will rise for all of us. Between now and then, play well and keep returning to the stage you never left.